about you both?
Good.
I just realized that you premiered the film yesterday.
Yes.
Valentine's Day. Was that weird, or like did that happen on purpose, or do you know, or was it just a coincidence?
It was Valentine's Day, you mean?
Yeah.
Of course it was planned.
Okay.
Yeah. I think they tried, or at least.
Yeah.
Of course, yeah.
That's great. How did it go? Well, it went well then.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's good.
Yeah, really well.
We were a bit tired. No, but
sure.
it was nice to watch it with a big audience.
That's good. I'm glad to hear. So because it's about long distance relationships and two specific characters, I just wanted to ask, what are your perspectives on long distance relationships?
Oh, wow. We'll start.
Personal perspectives?
Yeah, anything you want to, like, anything.
Yeah.
Whatever you.
Well, what I connected to really in the novel, because it's based on a novel and I read the novel, and I read the novel.
I decided at some point to read the novel.
Wake up, Anna. As well in the novel as well as in the film, the emails that two are sending each other are a really important part of the relationship, because this is the main form of communication in the long distance relationship. And I had the experience, because I was in long distance relationships myself, when I was texting or like writing these emails to my partner and then reading them after the relationship ended, not only did I get all of the images back in my head from the time period, but I also got this weird outside view on myself, because I saw how I saw the world back then, and I really related to that in the script, that these characters have a certain ehrgeiz, ambition to write, to find good phrases, or to find interesting phrases about their daily life. And then when the relationship falls apart, they still have this urge to like reflect on their days, or to find a way of putting what's happening into words, although they don't have the addressee anymore. And that's the way, yeah.
Okay, so me, I also practiced a long distance relationship, and I'm still kind of fan of it also, because I don't think I like daily life relationship. Also for me, the distance is necessary also, like to keep myself as the center and to consider relationship being like something around it. So what I found interesting in the book, it's like, okay, the story is between Berlin and Frankfurt, and once in my life I was living in Berlin and I had a long distance relationship with someone in Frankfurt. So preparing the film, shooting the film was also like kind of a travel back in my past, because I had to sit in the same train that I'm actually sitting as a character. So I had to look back at how did we do it? What does it actually mean to have a long distance relationship? How do you do it? And usually this is like, and it's kind of well described in the film at the beginning also, that you know exactly when you're going to see the other. So there is a kind of a control and a plan about the narrative of what should happen at that time. And in the lapse, or in the moment in between, you are kind of gathering the energy or producing something that keeps the contact alive also, and that keeps the love going. And you need to find a language for this. You need to find something that gets you excitement, desire, longing. And so it forces you somehow, it allows you somehow to create something different than in everyday life. So you have to go in a kind of a meta language as well to get things out of you, to have a look on your reality, everyday life reality, and how do you communicate it with the other about it. And it always has something literally, yeah. Because it has to be creative somehow, because you have to get the other like in contact with you, or keep the excitement going.
That does make sense. I feel like I've thought about that too. Have you ever thought about, like, if you live with someone, separate rooms?
Yeah.
Like, then you're your own person?
Yeah.
Even though you're together?
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like long distance could be this.
It's the best. Come on. I mean, like, you get. I'm like, I'm a fan of it. Like, I think it's. I could not do it. I don't like to live in the same city of someone I'm in a relationship with, because I also feel there is a lot of pressure of like, do we have to see each other also? So I can organize myself a bit better when it's like a bit far away.
And I love the way it's described in the letter that Tanya writes, how their relationship has these 3 phases, and as long as these 3 phases of like anticipation, yeah. As long as it's in balance, they have the perfect relationship.
Yeah, because you're always waiting to see what happens next.
Yeah.
But it was also in long distance relationship. There's always the moment asking, and then, are we gonna keep like this forever, or will it be a moment where we get closer or not? And I think that's the dangerous moment, because then you want to get a form of a norm, because the norm is we have to be together in the same city or live together even or whatever. But to keep this freedom of saying no, the duration can breathe also, can have like its own timeline and its own different places without being a threat for the relationship itself.
So because you two have had different long distance relationship types, is that what made you want to work on, like to take, like for you to take the film or to take the novel and turn it into the film, or for you to like act in the film, or was it another reason what got you involved?
Well, the love story is only one aspect of the film, and the other part is the way that these mid-30s, or that how this milieu is portrayed. And my first reaction to reading it was really feeling uncomfortable and being like, oh, I want to shake these characters. Why are they so self-observing? And this uncomfortable feeling was something that, triggered me, but really interested me then again, because I thought, okay, I'm lying to myself if I pretend I'm not at all like them. So there is some truth to these characters also in myself, and that's the uncomfortable part, and I want to look at that and make a film where you kind of love the characters, but where you're allowed to hate them a little bit too.
Those are always better than the ones where you just love them. Yeah, at least I find.
Okay, for me it was that first I didn't hear nothing about the novel. I live in France, I'm French, and this was a German novel also, so it was big in Germany, but didn't hear it from France. So when I was asked to go to the casting, I didn't have an idea about the story itself. So, and when I first read the script and then the novel, I was angry. That was my first feeling, because I was like, who are this like super privileged, white, straight, cis person, and circling around their own problems, and it seems that the world around is not existing, and they're not questioning at all their position in society. And I was like, why? How am I going to do this? Because I was super judgmental first. But also it was like, I think I was waiting for someone to give me a stage so I can show what I can do in acting. And this is what Anna gave it to me. So this is why I did the film also. Because I thought it was like a friend of mine, I said that to Anna yesterday, a friend of mine told me, like, because I was so nervous with the character, because it was like, how am I going to approach this person I think is a complete stranger to me, and I don't want to have nothing to do with her. So, and a friend of mine told me, like, it's nice to play difficult character that you don't like, because you really have to go into acting, and you have to find like a relationship also to what you're doing. So it was like, okay, then let's start and let's do it. So it wasn't the story itself, it was the proposal, and it was the condition around it that made me want to do it also. And also like talking to Anna and her vision on the film, and also that we both, and I think everyone had a critical look also at the story from the beginning. So that was also nice to jump into it and to know that we will be working on these characters with the knowledge and the consciousness of who they are actually.
Well, you both just pointed out this topic I noticed. It's the thought, like, they're not, like, toxic, but they kind of are. So do you think realistically, if two toxic people get together, do you think they have a chance? Or do you think they'd be doomed, like, they're doomed from the start? Like, because, like, it's kind of like opposites attract, but also, like, similarities attract. Because, like, in the way that they're both so self-centered, but they're also in love, like, do you think there's a chance for like, just in general?
For me, it's not a question of chance, it's a question of responsibility. I mean, do you want to go into the responsibility, or do you want to avoid it? And they are so they are so busy with their own life and their own image somehow at some point that I don't think they are ready for it, but they could be ready. Yesterday at a party, I was talking to someone, and a person told me, like, after seeing the film, he was like, did I actually did enough when I split with my ex? Did I actually really went into responsibility? Did we actually talk about the important stuff, or did we just say, like, okay, it's over, let's let it go? And I thought about that sentence yesterday, and I think that the characters, they're just not ready to sit in front of each other and to put the things on the table and say, let's look at it. What is not working here? Why can't we communicate well? Why are we not able to think of a future together? Or what is, like, on the way? And it would need work, time, probably go to a psychologist as well, like, you know, and have friends that are just telling you the truth at some point. Like, it takes a lot of people around you to realize certain things. And I think those people are, I mean, Tanya is a very lonely character also. She has one good friend and a parent being a psychologist, but, you know, we can question also, it's her mother, so it's also like, what kind of mirror are you holding on in front of her? I don't know. So, yeah, for me, I don't think it's a question of chance, but much more of, like, maturity, responsibility, and time. So they're probably not ready for now, but I hope for them they will be in 5 years, because otherwise, it's gonna be difficult, yeah.
But for me and for these characters, it really makes sense that they see what they had when it's over.
Yeah.
So that she says, I love you in the last
Yeah.
letter when it's already
Yeah.
gone. And,
Yeah.
and then there's this huge longing again for something that's past. That to me makes sense, that she sees the groundness of the love only when it's gone.
That makes sense. So with all these character traits and within the film and within the novel, there's stuff characters can relate to. And then you had said you hadn't read the novel because you're from France and I'm from Canada, so I haven't read the novel yet either. But do you think that, I feel like it's universal, like some of these feelings, but do you think if someone's read the novel, they'd have more of an insight into the film, or do you hope that because film's a different medium, that hopefully, I hope it reaches an international audience. Like, starting here is a very good start. And then, like, do you think there's a chance for everyone to, like, see themselves, not fully see themselves, but see different aspects in your characters?
I'm so curious how it's gonna be for an international audience, because, I mean, there's so much Berlin in this movie, Berlin and Frankfurt, that you only recognize when you're from here. So there are so many people who see themselves in the movie only by recognizing their places and, like, imagining themselves in these places, which is kind of a cheap trick of the novel, I would say. But I'm really curious how it will translate, especially the tone and the way that you're allowed to, like, judge the characters a little bit, or to laugh at the characters a little bit, and still recognizing yourself in them, in their struggles a bit. Yeah, I'm just really curious how it's gonna translate.
I feel like, I mean, like, we've been seeing a huge gentrification movement in the last 15 years, and some kind of design that we see in certain cities, we see it in other cities. Like, if you want to travel through Europe, or even, like, abroad Europe, you always find like marketing stuff that you know from where you're actually living. And I think this film is also, like, the little details and little places, like, I think people can, you know, project something from their life into this. And I think on top of it, first I was like, this might be very specific because it's a very small group of people in a certain place. But at least, I mean, the script is loving someone, you're not able to be with that person, you split and it hurts. And that script, that narrative is universal, everyone had it. So I think, depending, of course, on the feeling and sensibility of people, but I think on that special plot, everyone can project. So I have the feeling that you can have something from it.
And then just to wrap up, you've kind of just briefly said it, but what do you hope audiences like maybe just like German audiences, but just any audience, what do you hope they take from the film, or is it what?
Like the feeling that I had, like being angry at these characters. Like, what do you do with this anger? Like, what does it tell you? Like, how do you reflect on it? Like, because if we're so critical towards these characters, then they're showing us something, telling us something that we don't want to be. So, what do we want to be then? I think this is one point, and the second is like, it's probably for everyone, it will be a kind of a reflection on a relationship, on a love story that somehow passed through your life, that states something that stays a bit like sensitive. And I think like everyone will have these thoughts also and go back into their private life, and I think they will maybe open up some talks also. That's, you never know.
I would subscribe. How do you say it? All of this.
Agree.
Agree on all of this.
Sign.
Works too. Yeah.
Sign.
Yeah.
But also just this very, very simple thought that if a relationship is over, it doesn't mean that the love is over, and that you can have love for an ex-partner for the rest of your life in a way, and it's okay to savor that in some way. Yeah. And I think the story tells me that both of them will always see this as a special love that they had. Even if he is with his child and with the other woman, with his chosen woman for the rest of his life. Yeah,
that's beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time.
Yeah, that was really nice.